Kamala might have more problems because she is being called out now as the nominee.
I'm a woman. I have a daughter. I hate the fact that there's been no female presidents. I really do. I hate the fact that when you take out your little placemat when your kids are learning the presidents, there's no female face on there, and then you have to explain why. It's effed up. I would love to see a female president, like a Margaret Thatcher type, somebody who's strong and serious and sober and respected. This ain't it. I am telling you, America is not going to elect this Nimrod as its first female president. I trust in them too much for that. They're not that dumb, and they're not that open to a female president to where they'd be like, anybody will do. Anybody.
But that's not going to work. And already the Trump campaign is ready to face off against Kamala. She's got more problems. It's almost as if they've been planning for this. Democrats, are you sure you want this person to be your fighter? Now, again, I don't really care what decision you do make because I'm not going to participate in the Democratic primary. I'm going to cover it, and I'm not going to vote, but I'm going to laugh. And see, the thing is, Democrats, Kamala has a lot of flaws. I think you forgot that she polls even lower than Biden. That means Biden was more popular than her.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time.
So the importance of community-based is they are, as they are called, they're in the community, led by members of the community. They are people who understand the capacity of the community, the needs of the community, the culture of the community.
Again, these are quotes from Kamala, and yet I know a lot of liberals say, but Trump says a lot of stupid things. Hey, Democrats, look in the mirror. Your gal is saying some dumb things too. The passage of time, the unburdening of needs to be unburdened. Community banks, the thing is that there are banks in the community. Like what?
Space is exciting.
Space is exciting? Okay, great.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree that there are things and tools that are available to us to slow this thing down.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been, you know?
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been, you know? Oh God, that was a terrible laugh. That was almost as if that was just as crazy of a laugh, just like the one from Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker, the last of the ridiculous Disney trilogy, you know, where Palpatine's laughing at the end. Let's listen to that one more time. Okay, so whoever in the Trump campaign put that together, they actually do deserve a raise. But Trump also wanted to add in his 2 cents about good old Joe Biden and Kamala.
You'd investigate the people that hid Joe Biden's condition?
Well, I think somebody has to look at it. Look, you had people that lied to the American public. And I tell you what, you ought to take a look at his doctors, because his doctors keep giving him this wonderful report. I'm not a doctor, but I saw him the other day, was unable to get up the children's stairs going into Air Force Ones.
Is it a coup against Joe Biden?
It's sort of, yeah.
I think it is. I mean, look, there's a constitutional process, the 25th Amendment. If Joe Biden can't run for president, he can't serve as president. And if they want to take him down because he's mentally incapable of serving, invoke the 25th Amendment. You don't get to sort of do this in the most politically beneficial way for Democrats. If it's an actual problem, they should take care of it in the appropriate way.
Now,
you'd investigate.
Now, there's a little bit more to this, because the problem that Democrats have is that they can't undo their damage. Like, the Democrats need to realize, and this is a problem that so many people have pointed out towards the Democratic Party, especially when there was that vain attempt to try and reform it, and that is actually create a process that allows voters to be engaged in the decision of who's going to be their nominee, be it for office of president or either that the selection process of picking people for U.S. Senate, House of Representatives, etc. The Democrats right now are hoping that with this decision, they're going to get a boost in support. The problem that Democrats have, though, is that they have to go up against the momentum that Donald Trump has built in the last 4 weeks. There's the aftermath of the debate. There's, of course, Biden's failure at that press event. There was Biden's embarrassing interview with George Snuffleupagus. And then, look, there was the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. He was able to get a huge boost in his support. And more importantly, there are people willing to turn out to vote for Donald Trump than over the Democrats. The Democrats really have nothing. They all what they bet on was assuming that the American people would accept Joe Biden for who he is. But then when push finally came to shove and Biden showed his nasty diaper to the whole world, voters weren't buying it at all. I want to pull up this video here because Trump seems really excited to face off against Kamala.
So they're going to cook up something at the convention. They might throw Gretchen Whitmer at you. They might throw Gavin Newsom at you. They might throw Michelle Obama at you.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about any of them. Look, they have bad policies. Forget about the people. They have an open border policy. They have a high tax policy. They have a bad military policy. The whole world is going woke. Their world is going woke. The Green New Scam, we're spending all our money on things that don't work. The whole thing is a mess. Our country, if we don't win this election, we may never have another election. I'm telling you, this may be our last election.
Great. Now even Donald Trump is taking talking points from BSDNC. What's wrong with you? But I want to pull up this super chat right here. First of all, Cool Blue 71. If this is your Kamala impression, I will do my best to maybe try and mimic her voice. I like hard lens media because it is media and it has a lens, and that lens is hard, and it's necessary for it to be hard lens media, which is why I like the media. It is hard. They got the lens and they're the media. And what is the media? It has a lens, and that lens has to be hard. And that's why I like hard lens media. Cool Blue 71. You know what? Of all the super chats, that one's my personal favorite, okay? For the whole month, that one's number one in my book. That one's number one. You know, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to click copy and paste that because that one is a work of art, okay? I like hard lens media because it is media and it has a lens, and that lens is hard, as it is necessary for it to be hard lens media. Oh my God, that is just pure gold. Pure gold. Pure gold indeed. But you want to know what else is pure gold? Hearing quote unquote pundits talking about what Kamala could do to actually get progressives on her side. No, this is funny.
And she has not been willing to lean into her prosecutorial record for a very long time. There used to be the case that, Kamala's a cop, was this argument that
and she is. She still is. She still is, buddy.
She was actually a tough law and order candidate. After BLM riots and all that kind of stuff, she kind of walked away from all that. It'll be really interesting to see if she can kind of reconstitute something.
That's the plan, actually. Is her team has been working on this actually for even before the debate, and I've got some new reporting up this morning about this, that it is prosecutor versus felon. That's the plan here. But what you hear from people is not just let's go up against the guy who was accused of rape, had the settlement against him, versus the woman who locked up rapists. The big banks versus the person who went after the big banks.
Kamala didn't go after the big banks. You know what, Kamala? She actually got, financial endorsement from good old Steve Mnuchin. You know that guy? Did you know that Kamala could have gone after, financial interest, but you know what her team did? They chose not to. And this is before she became a U.S. senator. Did you know that Kamala kept innocent men behind bars? Kept a guy on death row, even though he was innocent. It's called death row, not life row. Death row, which is final. That's it. It's over. All right, death row. That's the thing. Did you know Kamala is as corporatist as they can get?
but is about whether she can push back on the progressives who want to move her in that direction and did successfully move her campaign in 2019 away from being the prosecutor.
Yeah. You want to know what happened to her campaign in 2019? Yeah, you big-brained loser. Do you want to know what happened? Her campaign went belly up. Okay? People forget that in 2019, she made her announcement on Martin Luther King Day, okay? I was covering a Chicago mayoral debate in its early stages for the 2019 election for the office of Chicago mayor in 2019. All right? And I remember after we were done wrapping things up, my colleague Daniel messaged me and said, hey, Kamala Harris is into the race. And it was Martin Luther King Day. And it started off with this huge bang and then ended with like a fart in the wind, okay? She constantly kept on lying about her past, who she was, telling the truth was anathema for her, and then her campaign went broke. Her campaign, Kamala never even made it to the first primary. It's no joke. She was a loser. As soon as people heard her talk, they gave her the middle finger. And yet, Democrats, you got a problem with your convention, an open convention or Harris coronation. Democrats weigh options after Biden exit. So Vice President Kamala Harris quickly racked up endorsements from major Democratic figures, including President Joe Biden, and received the backing of deep-pocketed party donors. Now, again, vote blue no matter who. It's the donors that run everything. And by the way, uncommitted voters. Don't be stupid. Don't be dumb with me. But Kamala is very loyal to AIPAC as well. So I really wonder how all of you are going to play out as well. But while much of the party coalesced around the vice president, and she argued that she's the obvious choice to take on Republican nominee Donald Trump in November, some Democrats and commentators made the case for a competitive nominating process, contending that it would strengthen the eventual candidate and avoid the appearance of an undemocratic coronation. No, folks, there's what we're going to witness is the rich playing games with each other. Prepare yourselves to see articles and hit pieces on certain Democratic leaders, those that would challenge who the party bosses or those with the most pull and push for the nomination process. You're going to see the rich start consuming themselves, the donors pulling out the knives, because now there's blood in the water. And Chicago is going to be one hell of a madhouse. Former President Barack Obama was the most prominent Democrat to hint at support for something resembling an open convention, saying in a statement that he has extraordinary confidence that the leaders of our party will be able to create a process from which an outstanding nominee emerges. To which, again, he's saying leaders, not voters, party members, not voters, Democrat elite, not voters. Seriously, any vote blue, no matter who person that's being involved in this, you're the biggest sucker I've ever seen. Prior to Biden's exit, dozens of former Democratic lawmakers endorsed an open convention, writing in an open letter that the process would energize the party and capture the imagination and interest of voters, especially younger and marginalized voters who have been uninspired by the choices so far. There is no choice. Democrats, you have nothing. And to uncommitted voters, those who wrote in, uncommitted or Gaza. Here, let's talk about Kamala for a second, okay? Because Kamala is as loyal to AIPAC as it can get. All right, I want to pull up this video here. It's only 16 seconds, but it's from Sabby Sabs, good friend of the show. Okay, here, let's pull this up here. Kamala, Trump, and RFK Jr. all support AIPAC. Vote against this in November.
Our defense relationship is critical to both nations, which is why I support the United States' commitment to provide Israel with $38 billion in military assistance over the next decade.
She's for AIPAC, uncommitted. So before anyone starts jumping up for joy that Biden's not the nominee or that he's not in the race, Kamala is no better. Kamala is a joke. Kamala is just as corrupt as any other neoliberal Democrat. If this is the best the Democrats can do, it is going to be a disaster on election night. The Democratic Party, you have revealed yourselves as a divided institution, a corrupt institution that doesn't require a democratic process in which the voters can pick who they want as their nominee. You have made that abundantly clear. in 2016, in 2020, and now in 2024. If this is the process in which Democratic voters want to play in, there is no helping you. You are stuck. Don't get excited for this. This is a disaster. And with that earlier trailer that I played, the Trump campaign is ready for Kamala. They're ready for her clownish behavior. They're ready to decimate her. Now, I don't know if that debate in September is still on, but if it's Trump versus Kamala, it may not go the way you want it to go. It might be just as embarrassing as anything else. Will the same rules apply? Will there be more debates? Is there going to be a debate coming up now? What is going to happen, Democrats? Are you truly ready for what's coming down the road? And by the way, folks, there's a treasure trove of videos to make fun of Kamala. There's a treasure trove of videos pointing out her hypocrisy. There is a treasure trove of videos in which so many independent media content creators have dedicated their time and energy in revealing how much of a fraud she truly is. So how else can we end this segment? What else can I say that, well, is going to keep on being said over and over again about the pathetic excuse of Kamala being the quote-unquote successor? She's a clown. She's not ready. Throughout the entire 3.5 years of the Biden-Harris administration, Kamala has failed at every task that was given to her. But she hasn't failed in one thing. She hasn't failed in becoming a meme. So everyone, you know what? Maybe I'm being too mean. What America needs is a mamala to hold us close as the whole world is burning. Right, Drew Barrymore?
We need you to be the mamala of our country.
What the fuck? It's like you touched my hair, but verbally.
She's a mommy. Be my mommy.
What?
Mamala. Mamala.
What?
Mamala.
Okay.
We need you.
There's nothing I like more as a Black woman than, being held responsible for everyone's emotions. Oh.
Kamala Harris.
Okay.
I truly cannot believe you are sitting right here
I know.
in front of me.
Real close.
So far away.
No, I think we're close.
I'm 3 football fields away.
You're not. You're
so
right.
far away.
You are right there.
I can smell the inside of you.
What?
You're so special. A special woman.
Can someone fucking stop this?
Put your arms around me.
No.
Put your arms around me.
Hell.
Isn't this great?
I'm gonna get up now.
Okay. See you later.
Hey, Secret Service, what the fuck?
Hey, I asked for this election cycle to be interesting and entertaining. And you know what? I watched Due Dissidents yesterday. And Keen said, "Hey man, I'm tired of winning. I'm tired of being right." I'm not tired yet. Oh no. Because the convention's coming. And as time keeps on progressing, you want to know what people are going to realize as they look deeper and deeper into Kamala? They're going to realize that her whole career was one big failing upwards. I mean, come on. She knew Mr. Willie Brown and got down and then kept on climbing up that ladder by any means necessary, by hands or by knees. And so, as we continue looking into her history, we'll realize that she's also been on the wrong side of history. We'll look at her voting record, and then voters, especially progressives and independent voters, will realize, well, geez, Kamala's no better than Trump. Yes, I said that. Kamala's no better than Trump. Why do you think her campaign failed miserably in 2019? Why do you think it went belly up? It's because voters looked into who she was. And Democrats can try and paint this pretty picture of passing the baton, but you had 2 years to really get the narrative right. You can't fix the disaster that's coming around the corner. August, September, October. What can you do in 3 short months that could turn things around? It's going to be a slaughter on election night. Now, I am going to be eating a ribeye steak. But liberals, listen. When your defeat happens, please, it's okay to go on somewhat of a meltdown, but don't embarrass yourselves too much, okay? I mean, I might not control my laughing because it's going to be hilarious. It'll be funny, and sad. But then I'll start laughing more because so many people have built this perception of who the Democrats are when the reality, the veil being revealed, is they never had a plan in the first place.